Welcome back to a Sutter podcast. I'm your host Victor, and my co-host Mark. Sir, how you doing on this fine, dandy, different day?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. Blessed. How are you doing?
Fantastic, man. Can't blame a thing on nothing. I'm smiling, I'm shining, and we winning every day, people. On our way to 3K subs.
Let's go.
I already beat all our numbers from 2023. We're not even done 2024 yet.
It just keeps getting better, and I love to just hear those numbers. I love to just know that we just have amazing fans.
Yeah.
We have amazing loyal people here, and yeah, we just it wouldn't be anything like this if it wasn't for you guys.
Keeping us going.
Yeah, we're
Sponsors and all.
Yeah,
Not a milestone.
we're just trying to have, I wouldn't say, because I'm not trying to compare, but I am trying to just say, like, yeah, we're definitely trying to be on that level of, like, being able to, do kind of like events, do special videos, do streams and stuff like that, where we're just able to just give you, like, mass content,
Mhm.
because
Make it our full-time thing.
Yeah, we do this and we love it, of course, like, all the time, but we definitely love to do it because we see all those other people, those other groups of people with their friends doing it. And like that's where I would say, if anything, that's where we got the inspiration of doing this, So it's like we're still till today, like still trying to achieve that goal.
Absolutely. So, all the way up until right before the Diddy parties.
Yeah.
And then that's where we'll stop.
Yeah, right.
We'll stay comfortable right one or two levels below that.
Yeah. Nowhere getting close to that because, we don't want to get involved.
So. We'll take the cameos, the random little commercials.
True. I'm fine being an extra.
Yeah.
As long as y'all recognize me, I'm like, yep, that was me. Just like in SpongeBob. Where he's like, that's my head right there.
That's going to be us. But yeah, that's the idea. That's the whole thing that we're trying to go for. And we appreciate you guys always. Let's get into today's topic of the day, Mark. You see the building that we're in. You guys see it every week. This has been our home for a long time. We've had a good full hold. We haven't really had to change it too much besides a few times we had to do a remote one. This has been home base for a good amount, 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to announce it to you guys, kids. We might be moving again.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Yeah. No official news yet, but for y'all that don't know, we record in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of the Philadelphia 76ers. There's been, I don't know if we talked about it on here, what their whole struggles with like the stadium and shit. I think we have.
So we might have mentioned it. We haven't done like an update though.
Yeah. And they have in Philadelphia the sports complex where all the sports teams play, and the Sixers decide they don't want to be a part of that complex anymore, and they want to move to Center City to build their own personal stadium.
Which is so dumb.
And that stadium is going to be built right where we're standing right now.
Yep.
I don't know what it entails with the studio that we're in. They haven't made an announcement yet, but it seems like pretty soon we'll have to move. The stadium won't be done or open until 2031, which means it's not going to be done until 2040. Because they're not going to handle it right in building, and there's going to be protests and all this other shit.
I can't even imagine. That's almost 20 years.
Yeah. But they have to start the construction at some point. So I'm assuming it's going to start in the next year or so. So which means that this is going to start getting demolished. I don't know what their plan is. I'm guessing they can't just keep this as is. They have to open up a lot of space.
Yeah. Sidetrack. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Because like I said, 20 years. I recently started watching the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe that, at least for the first 3 that came out, I think the third one came out maybe in 2007. Bro, that's almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just, to me is just like insane to think that like I have a good recollection of a movie I've watched and love, and it's literally 20 years. And I'm just like, bro, that's insane. Like now I feel like with my mom, she's like, oh yeah, like this movie's so old, like you weren't even born yet. And I can't even imagine. I'm just like, dang, like now I'm getting to that age where I'm like, bro, I know a movie that I like actually remember and love, and it's literally almost the same age as me.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, dang, that's insane.
There were people that were born after that movie came out, and they're like in college.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's just insane to me. I don't know why. Like, it just, to be alive, to know that I've watched a movie, love it, and I'm just like, man, I think it's 20 years old now. I'm just like,
holds up well though.
Bro.
CGI and shit is like crazy.
No, it's
on
great.
It.
It's been recognized for some of the great CGI and all that, and that's why I'm just like, I think it's the third one. I was like watching it with Em, and I was like, I went to the movie theaters and watched this, and I'm just like, it gets to almost 20 years now. Like that's just insane, bro. That's wild. Anyway, sorry, I digress. I don't know how I got to that, but yeah, stadium. Yeah, I think it's dumb, and I remember I was told that somebody on TikTok, I think, was saying how like they're making the stadium here, taking like half of Chinatown out,
Yeah.
which is like, bro, the amount of money that goes through here is just like
Insane.
the amount of food, that goes through here is insane. And yeah, it just sucks because they were saying how they're building the stadium for a team who barely even makes it to the playoffs, and it's just like, come on, like I would understand if we were like a good runner up, like, and we've been like that for the last like
well, we're always a
5
top
years.
2 seed in the East. We just always lose in the second round.
Exactly.
Because Embiid's knees disintegrate by the end of the season. Which he's got a 3-year
himself.
He got a 3-year extension for like 183 mil, by the way. But
yeah, it's just like insane that we are trying to take out all this for a team that, you know, doesn't pull through at the end
for a bunch of dumb reasons. Like, and even that, like, even if you want a new stadium, cool, just don't build it here, bro. The sports complex is massive. You could find more space over there,
plenty of space
and still be a part of everything that's so cool over there.
Take out half of the parking that's like there for the casino.
Yeah, like we don't.
That thing is never packed, bro. Like never packed.
There's buildings and other shit. Like you could just pay those people to like build the property and like buy the property and build on top of that. Like
There's definitely a lot of space, bro, that you can use. Trust me, I've seen it.
And people have protested and spoken to the mayor and shit. And the mayor just said, "Fuck all you guys."
Yeah, she was like,
build
"Yeah,
anyway.
I think it's a good idea."
She's like, "I hear all you guys. Right. I hear you, Chinatown. We're gonna speak to each other." Hasn't said a word to any of the people. If you listen to them, you would know that they don't want that built in the first place. Yeah, it's only gonna drive the price of everything up. Everything's gonna get out. The traffic in here is gonna be ridiculous. Sports complex is perfect because you could literally you could take SEPTA and it'll drop you off right in the center of everything.
Last stop, and it's right there. Like you don't have to worry about knowing when to get off. It's the last stop. Yeah. Everything's there. All entertainment you need for sports is there. So just like why make it just more difficult? Like it's just park. I don't know. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Anybody who knows about that,
And we have to pay for it. Like people that like the taxes are gonna go towards it.
Yeah, great.
And there's something that we didn't ask for. And then there are kids getting evacuated from school early because there's not AC in the buildings. But we're going to build a new stadium.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I literally mentioned that when I was talking to him about it. I was like, we're building a museum. I'm like, that just goes to show you the priority of the city and what we end up putting our money towards first. Yeah. Like, instead of stuff like schools and like for the kids and stuff, we're just like, oh, yeah, let's go and build a stadium when nobody asks for. Yeah. Ruin, another type of like, citizens like population area. Like, it's just,
She's not even gonna be in office when this shit's built.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, yo, you're not getting reelected. Like I hope you know that now.
Yeah, she's not.
So like,
and that's what's crazy. Like it's not even like the people who live here either. It's also a bunch of other people who've just come here and just enjoyed the food, the culture. Like we don't want this here. Like, don't get me wrong. This place could definitely be a little bit more clean. It can be a little bit more, I don't know how to say it, just uppity of like just making
spruced up.
Yeah, spruced up for sure. And I'm like, if you want to use like just a little portion of that money, use it for that. But we don't need a stadium here, that's no one asks for, like you said.
We don't need this mall here. I'll be honest with you.
I'm gonna be honest with you too. I agree.
We don't even need this here.
This place sucks.
Yeah.
Once they switched it, I hate it.
I mean, the gallery, this shit's ass.
Like, give me the gallery back. Give me the liveliness of it. The plants that they put here to just make it look full. This place looks so lonely and just sad. I hate it.
I would much rather them knock this down and build more streets for like businesses to pop up.
Do something else.
Yeah, like if you want to build out in the sports complex and just tear this down anyway in the process, I'm all for that. I'll pay for that.
Yeah,
because this shit is just nothing.
There's nothing in this mall that's even close to like nice.
It's half office buildings, parking, and shops that have literally nothing in them. Half of them are closed.
The best thing here is literally the top floor, which has like the bowling thing and like the movie theater.
If you want to turn this whole area into stuff like that, cool.
Yeah,
because like the AMC and the bowling, and I think they have like art exhibits here and shit. Like I'm down for that.
That's a little bit cool. Yeah. Other than that, like there's nothing else.
It's a waste of time, bro.
Yeah.
I can't remember purchasing like a single thing here besides Auntie Anne's pretzels.
Yeah. It's just a shame, You walk in here and you're like the idea of going here seems okay. The minute you walk in here, you're just like, I don't know why I walked
Nah,
in. I
it's
don't know
empty
why I
as shit,
chose to
like-
even like walk in here. Yeah.
That's why they just got either that or convert this into something else, bro. Like all these malls and shit that are dying, like turn them into housing or something, communities or whatever. Ideally, I think that's the best case scenario for a lot of these big ass malls that are closing / setting up in the first place. Like make these all into like apartments or some shit and turn it into community where like some of these places are also shops and like you can just live
Yeah.
amongst it and it makes life convenient for people and like I think that's best case scenario.
Yeah. In my head, like I don't want it to be used for housing, but of course I do. But it's just like I know like it's not going to be affordable for.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the only thing. It's just like I wish it could be affordable housing,
But you
like,
could though, like in theory.
Yeah, of
but
course
you know they
could,
wouldn't.
But you know they wouldn't. Yeah.
Because like you know how many units you could put in this place and like build into a community where like you have shops around the bottom and then you maybe on the top floor you have office buildings.
Can you imagine if they kept the same structure of all this but made it into like
yeah, that's what I
apartment?
mean.
That'd be
In
so-
this
that'd be
community
kinda
and shit, like
cool.
you
That'd
could
be
have
kinda cool, yeah.
places in the center be like playgrounds or some
That'd be
shit.
kinda
Like
cool. That almost would be like kind of like futuristic. kinda,
yeah,
where
and
it's,
then
like,
the top floor could
inside.
be like offices and some of maybe the people that live here also work up there, and then you have the bottom part where it's
Yeah.
businesses and restaurants and shit. People could buy together, supermarkets and all that stuff. That's what we need to be doing. Not building stadiums for a team that's going to lose in the second round to the Celtics.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it's funny because like when we get there, we're just like you'll see us cheering. You're like, come on, we got it. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
like for moments like this, we're just like, why? You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
suck.
I'm going to root for the Sixers. I just
Of
hate
course, yeah.
the fact that like it's clear what happened here is billionaire owners bribed the mayor of Philadelphia. She was cool with it, and that's what it is. And I don't like the Harris, like Josh Harris and I forget the other people's name that own the place in the first place. They own
Yeah.
the Sixers, the Washington Commanders, and the New Jersey Devils, all rival cities to each
Yeah,
other.
I'm like,
He has no like it's just bread to him. Like
Yeah.
that's all he cares
that's what
about.
it sounds like.
Yeah. So it's just annoying. I get why they want to move because it's the Wells Fargo is technically the Flyers' stadium.
Yeah, that's what I figured. You know, I'm like, they obviously are sharing.
Yeah.
it's
So
like-
they're kind of like second / third option there, where it's like the Flyers' schedule remains supreme and like they always get first priority. Then obviously the concerts that they rent out to the places, there's also another part. So the Sixers kind of get the short end of the stick.
Mm.
Like I think we talked about this before. The last playoffs, both the Flyers and Sixers were in it. But since they were both still alive, if the Flyers won, then the Sixers had to move their game back a day, which I think did end up happening. So that's what's annoying for the team. I understand that. But still, the sport complex is right there.
Yeah, you could literally just build another place right next to it if you wanted to.
Low key, I mean, even people that were, I hate the idea of it, but if it meant keeping Chinatown, I was 100% cool with them going to Camden and still being named the Philadelphia Sixers.
Mm,
Like
alright.
their practice facility is already right there, so it probably wouldn't have taken much to build it. Camden would have had, they offered to pay for most of it. It wouldn't have fallen on the citizens, and you can still be named Philadelphia Sixers and not play in that city. The New York Giants and Jets have not played in New York literally ever. They've played in East Rutherford, New Jersey, for the length of time. The Dallas Cowboys don't play in Dallas, Texas. They play in Arlington.
Yeah, it's that's a pride thing at that point.
Yeah, like
Because I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Philly holds some weight when it's like, oh yeah, you're in from Philly.
Mhm.
But then if people hear like, oh, you guys are actually playing in Jersey though, but
it's like cool, but whatever. But like if you
Yeah.
think about what has to get sacrificed in the process, like I
Yeah,
really don't.
If you really think
give a
about your
fuck.
morals and like
Yeah.
what exactly you're trying to do this for, it's like, bro, we don't need to have it here.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
so much other space.
So there was so many other options they could have went with, and they decided not to do so. I don't know if this is technically over or not, or yet or not. I don't know why I said that weird. But yeah, I hope it works out. I hope that protesters and stuff get in the way of it and like make it a fucking
Yeah, man.
problem. But am I gonna still go root for the team? Yeah. Like literally the day they announced the arena thing, I was wearing a Sixers jersey to work. So
They were like, oh, he's in cahoots with them. He
not
like-
even, bro. You know what it was in all actuality? So my job was having like a charity thing where it was like, oh, everybody wear your favorite sports jersey or whatever. And I couldn't stomach to wear a fucking Eagles jersey because they just choked on the Falcons on Monday Night Football 2 days prior. It would have burned my skin. Until I see them beat the Saints this weekend by 40, I'm not doing shit.
Yeah, that was a sad moment. I'm not gonna lie, because I left. I was at M's place, and in my head, I was like, I thought they were losing, but when I got back home, I saw on the TV, I was like, okay, they're still winning. And literally, with me going upstairs for like 5 minutes, then I heard my mom just like, "Oh, what the?"
Yeah.
I was like, "No."
It was-
in my head. I was just like, "Of course."
It was one of those typical moments where it was just like, yo, you can stop this, but you're not stopping this. Like they just let them walk down there. No timeouts called, no pressure. Like I'm not, this is not a sports podcast.
Yeah.
I just reopened the wound. I need to shut it.
That's not for you.
This fucking stadium. Yeah, it's annoying, bro. Like, there's basically just money at the end of the day, and it's not gonna work out well. I know it's gonna come across like there's no way that all this whole process is gonna go smoothly.
Yeah.
So
And my thing is just like, if it does go through, finally when it gets built, when I'm like freaking 40, I doubt it's even gonna do well. I mean, who knows? Maybe the next generation is gonna be like, yeah, because like they'll be old enough at that point. But
they won't even remember it.
yeah, but I wouldn't be like, it wouldn't receive well.
Yeah, the Wells Fargo, they're gonna have their name. Yeah, they have to update their name because the Wells Fargo is gonna be something else. The players that are currently on the team will no longer be able to see it. Like, I don't think Embiid or any of these guys are like, maybe Maxey will be, if he's still here, it'll be towards the end of his shit because he's still young. He'll probably be like in his early 30s. So maybe he'll get to see it. But besides that, like Paul George, Embiid, and any of these guys are going to be out, bro.
Yeah,
it's
they'll be
set.
done.
Talking about 8-7 years in the future if things go on time.
The thing is, it's just like, bro, like, let's ask the players. Do they care? Like,
Not really. They probably know the same shit too. I'm not going to be here. I have my bread. Like, the only thing that probably is annoying to them is the scheduling, which they would probably prefer to like be fixed or maybe improved. But like outside of that, I don't think they care that much.
Yeah.
The building's not going anywhere. The Wells Fargo is still going to be there.
Yeah.
So hopefully something changes, man. It's just frustrating. It's not helping anything.
It's not. It's just
Traffic's going to be a pain.
It already
when
is
it's built.
Yeah.
When it's built, it's still going to be a pain. Imagine now when you're going to see a bunch of traffic cones and stuff everywhere and the big hole in the center of the city because it's getting built.
Yeah. It's going to be a problem.
Trash, bro.
Yeah, anybody who works down here.
Bonchon going to be out. One of your branches might be out. You don't know how far it's going to stretch out.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. What we going to do, Mark? This place, we haven't even addressed the fact that like this really might, we really got to, where we going to go?
Yeah, I don't know.
What we going to do in 2031, bro? So, no, like next year this shit might be getting knocked down. Diddy's already fucked this place up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the start of it. This whole new building thing's nailed in the coffin. I'm waiting for the email from the time it was gonna happen.
Like, sorry guys, unless you guys are, your household owns more than 5 baby oils, you're gonna have to be kicked out.
You're screwed. Maybe they will move to Miami now.
Probably.
Who knows, man?
It's sad. It's sad.
It's a sad time, bro. I don't like it.
Back into the living room. Back into the basement.
Listen, hopefully by this time it's one of our owns and we can build something out. It doesn't have to be.
Pray for us, guys. Pray for us.
If you subscribe,
all right,
if you like, comment, subscribe, might help us out a little bit.
We'll be able to stop this build.
Yeah.
Nah.
But no, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Once we get in contact
Help
with
us
Mr.
sponsors.
Beast.
Yeah. I ain't doing no freak offs.
No one said nothing about Rico.
I just got to put the disclaimer out there before we get a call.
I'm just saying.
I'll put my hand on the car and like hold on to it. You think you'd be able to do one of those?
Yeah, I think I could do one of those.
Yeah, but like, how you think it's like legit? Like, how you think it works?
Take my hand.
You think it's just like, just for the show? Like, do you think they know who's gonna win, or they really like set this or not? No, low key. Like, some people have said like some of the videos they put out is like this shit real. Like, it's been like traumatizing.
I would want to make it real. Like, hey, I'm not participating, but if I have a bunch of people who are also like kind of well-known, famous in here, I'm just like, I will make it actually like,
fun.
That's why he does a little stuff like in the in-betweens where it's like, oh, okay, there's a challenge. Because like if you just did a whole video of people just looking at him just holding on to a car, like, yeah, that's boring.
Yeah.
But he does other stuff. So it's like, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I think I'll be able to do it. Like I said, I just need to put some tape on my hand to the car, just get in a comfortable position. So that way, like, I know if I fall asleep, it'll still be there.
It's tough, bro. I would like to think I have like the ability to do it, but then it's like, it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
Because at certain point, it's like, damn, bro, like, I just been standing here for 18 hours. It's like, it reminds me of that one episode of Zoe 101. When they had their hand on the van and they kept tricking each other to get their hands removed.
So, what's funny? I think of a different thing because I just watched it kind of recently. There's a episode on Regular Show where there's a car and it's on a bill. It's on a, no. It's not on the billboard. they have to stay up on the billboard.
Mm-hmm.
Then they win a car if they're the last ones. But then, and they all start basically working together. It's Mordecai, Rigby, Muscle Man, and High Five Ghost. They're all up there, and they basically work together to get all the rest of the people out until the very end, where it's just like they realize they have to like win against each other, and it's just like it's pretty funny. But yeah, that's what happens though. You know, you got to end up like being deceitful and being
turn against each other. Like, who really cares this much about this car? Because some people might just be like, man, it's not even worth all that. Like, I want to go home.
Some people do that too. Some people do that within the first like 20 minutes. They're just like, never mind.
If my face already in the video, I already won.
True, yeah. Because in that John with Mr. Beast had the YouTubers in the box or whatever, the big like area or whatever. And then he told people in the first challenge, like, oh yeah, and if you make a basket, like basically shoot a basketball, you make it in, like you win one of your fans like a Cybertruck and then like some money, I think, like that. And then like literally the first dude who did it lost. And it was like only 5 minutes into the video. And it's just like, dang, bro, you did all of this. Probably flew here too. And then you're just like, oh, well, I guess I can't do it anymore.
I knew one person that was actually a part of one of his videos, but like he wasn't really, like he was a part of it, but he didn't show up a lot in it. It was the one that they were cleaning up the beach together. It was like a year or two ago that this happened. But he called a bunch of influencers to like help clean the dirtiest beach in the world, and he was a part of that video. But I was like, yeah, it was cool. Like he was a cool guy. Seems chill.
Yeah.
So
for videos like that, I'm like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Like you said, you get your face in the video. Of course, like you don't want to do it for that reason. But it's just like you probably hang out with a bunch of other cool people that you can just connect with.
Good opportunity. Yeah. Apparently, also there's some videos that haven't come out. They said like they low-key like traumatized after being one of his videos. So they had him like locked in confinement for like 24 hours in the dark.
Well, I mean, then that's on y'all. Like
that's the name of the game, baby.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be like hurtful to that, but it's just like you guys. I feel like he let y'all know ahead of time what it's gonna kind of be about. Like he's not gonna give you the whole like spiel, but like pretty sure it wouldn't make sense for him to leave out that part. Like, oh yeah, by the way, you guys are gonna be locked in a coffin for about 5 hours. Like no, like I'm pretty sure he didn't like want to purposely leave that out. So.
I don't know. Yeah. You ever just look at somebody and you could tell like something's not right? I get that vibe with Mr. Beast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I get it a tiny bit because the reason why is because I feel like he's done so much and there just hasn't been one bad thing.
But like if you just look at him smile in a photo, it's like, yo, you look like you just learned how to smile yesterday. So like what's going on there?
A little bit, yeah. That's why I'm like, that's the only reason why, though. I just feel like he does so much good, and don't get me wrong, like you can do a lot of good, but that's where it just comes where I feel like it's because you hear so many other things about other people who do so much, and then next thing you know it, just like in recent events, I wouldn't say he did so much good, but like did he? But but just like again, like people who just like end up getting so much, and then it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, this person actually does this or does that, and you're just like, oh
yeah. It's just he's reached the point. Obviously, it's still internet fame, but he's still reached the point where he's kind of surpassed this. So it's like I said, once you reach that certain level, it's just you kind of teetering.
Yeah.
So to make some of these things happen, there might be some stuff that's not necessarily like the best way to go about it. But he seems a little off to me. I don't know if he's just like. If it's like a mental health thing or whatever, but he just looks like something he could snap at any moment.
He's probably been doing these videos for a while now. At this point, he's just like, oh.
And he released like a Lunchable or his own Lunchable. Did you see that?
Something. No,
it's like collaboration with Prime.
Oh.
So it's like their own Lunchable. I forget what it's like the actual name is called, but it's a Lunchable, and it has a bottle of Prime, his chocolate in it, and then just like a random like Lunchable pizza.
If I was a kid, I'd be like, "Oh, mom."
Yeah, that's the thing though. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, of course. Everything is geared to kids. I feel like with any of them, with this when it comes to like food items and stuff like that, it's all geared to kids. Yeah. There's no way I'm being like almost 30, being like
some people would, but like the majority is.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's cool because at the end of the day, we are the ones who kind of, in a sense, understand their content. We also like kind of like growing with them. A lot of these kids are just discovering them now, and they're just doing Fortnite dances, and it's like they just want it because they want it, and that's just them being kids. But we actually understand, like, okay, they actually have a certain like appearance and all this other stuff, like they do other things, like we understand that. So if it's like, oh cool, I watch this guy, subscribe to him, I watch his YouTube videos regularly or whatever, it's just like, oh yeah, I saw this at the store, like let me just try it out, like I don't know.
I have a like we're almost out of time. Surprisingly, I feel like this went by fast, but I have like an interesting question that I want to like bring up about that because, you know, as kids growing up, obviously we were like in a bridge between like internet shit / like real life shit. So we watched certain TV or whatever. You could argue maybe like wrestling or like, you know, the video games we played are like questionable in the idea of like, should a kid be playing this? Should a kid be watching this? You know, et cetera, et cetera. And we watched it anyway. And we still had like, thanks to our parents, we kind of had that division of being like, all right, this is make believe, this is real life. Like, don't bring any. You can watch it and enjoy it, but don't bring it into real life. Now times have changed. Now times have changed, where like the content that people consume is a little different, right?
Yeah.
And now where it's not necessarily like the same as wrestling, where we had, you know, women doing lingerie matches or like bloody tables and stuff, like, which is still stuff kids shouldn't be watching. It's a little different now where you have like a Jake Paul, right? And like their content is like, yeah, what's up, guys? And like some of the stuff is like cool, like it's for kids, but and then there's other topics where it's like maybe they shouldn't be consuming this. Mm-hmm. The reason I mention it is like, obviously our parents maybe had their guidelines or whatever. Would you let your kids watch like a Jake Paul or like an Andrew Tate and stuff? Because like these are the things that people gravitate towards, and you want to let your kids watch what they want to watch and like also have stuff in common with their friends. But obviously a thing like a Jake Paul or anything like that is not necessarily bad to the extent of like drugs, alcohol, or like, you know, like women, like lingerie type shit where we used to watch. But some of the stuff they talk about where it's kind of like alpha male dumb shit or like Andrew Tate shit, like it's still harmful. Would you like restrict your kid from watching it? What would you do? Because even we watched YouTubers as kids, but it was like a Dash EXP. Like we would just laugh and like call it a day.
Yeah.
Like just like random dumb shit. But it wasn't but Dashy wasn't spending nothing like, oh, like women just belong in the kitchen bullshit.
Yeah, I think it's like, for me personally, I wouldn't let them watch that.
But it was like, Dad, please, like,
no, yeah, and then
can I have a bottle of Prime?
That's at the point where I will like let them know and understand, like help them understand exactly who these people are. I will tell them, I'm like, there's a difference between watching people on YouTube and then also watching like a kid show.
Yeah.
People on YouTube, I'm gonna tell them, I'm gonna be honest, these people are probably like around the same age as me, and they're only doing this
for
majority
money.
Is for money. And not to mention, they're not making these videos a lot of the time with the intent of like just making it specifically for you. And I'm talking to my kid, like they're not saying like, oh, I'm not calling my kid this, but look, Timmy. Yeah. Timmy's always the name you use. I'm just saying like, Timmy, they're not making this video specific for you. They're not thinking like, oh, what is Timmy gonna like? Like, let's try to like make this as best as we can for Timmy. No, they're doing this on such a broad spectrum to just be like, okay, like we're just trying to make a video and whatever happens in the video happens, and we're just trying to make it fun, and whatever we think is fun, and we're going to put it. At the end of the day, these people who are making these videos are also like, again, adults. Mm-hmm. So they're not thinking like, oh, I'm trying to make like kiddie stuff. I'm not trying to make like kid stuff. They're just trying to make like fun, exciting stuff, and whatever entails in that is what they're going to use. So it's like, I just think of it as like, they're not doing it for your best interest. Whereas kid shows, again, there's some that probably like, again, we watch some stuff, but it's like, at least when you know you're watching that stuff, it's like, okay, for the most part, like they're doing it for like a kid perspective. They're not trying to make it like outlandish, do inappropriate stuff, you know, or say things, do things, or make like false promises to get you to like buy stuff again, like the Prime and all these other snacks, like
scams that they've done before, like the crypto like, shit, or
like it's nothing like any of that. So that's where I'm like, okay, I will let you watch kid shows, and I might let you watch YouTube, but at the point where it's like, I will sit there to try to like judge.
I gotta watch a couple of videos with you.
Yeah, because like I will know. Because again, like someone like you said, like Dashy, it's like, okay, I know he's just making this because it's skits and it's just out of the fun. Like it's just,
or the video or like the videos he play. Like obviously he like cusses like every now and then.
Yeah,
but
of course. Like
overall, the content is harmless.
Yeah, because again, like I don't think I should have watched any of the cussing stuff either. Like, again, like at that age too. So that's where it's like, okay, no. Because like, again, at the end of the day, people are probably going to curse, and they're going to curse at some point. Somebody
can't avoid it. In real life,
at one point you break the seal, or even if you don't, you're going to hear it.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, at some point you're going to hear. So I can't avoid you from hearing it, you know, or whatever the case is. But I can definitely minimize it to a certain point where I'm just like, okay, like cool. I want to keep your innocence bubble
for as long as possible.
as long as possible, to where I feel like, okay, like you can have some freedom.
Yeah.
But growing up, I definitely would monitor it and just be like I will allow stuff to a certain extent because again, like I knew what I watched, you know. I remember the other day I was telling him like, bro, I'm gonna definitely make my kid watch like SpongeBob and Regular Show. Like I think like for sure,
but
like
that's different. Like
there's hands down, but there's stuff in that show where it's just like, all right, that's a little high, you know, like. But it's like again, like I can watch that now and still enjoy it. So it's like there's no way I can not see my kid not enjoying it either. As far as like people on YouTube, like again, they do sometimes just so much out of pocket stuff where it's like they don't care, they're doing it for views. And you can sometimes tell, you know, some people are genuine, some people are just like, bro, I'm just screaming at people. I'm just
trying to get a bag.
I'm just barking. Like I'm just it's just like it seems like it's a little too much. But again, they're trying to get their bag. So it's like I can respect that. But if you want me to be honest, like, do you think I want to let my kid watch that and then start acting out like how you are? It's like, no, you know.
It's tough. I like even it's like obviously you can only protect it for so long, but I would much rather them watch something similar to a Dash XP or like a Berlizzi that I watch now where like they're cussing, but like the overall message isn't bad. It's just they're just adults being themselves and they're entertaining or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
As opposed to like a Jake Paul or like Andrew Tate type shit, or even now it's even more complicated because you have like women content creators as well, and like a good number of them are like they play games, they have their jokes and whatever, they call it a day. But then there's also the idea of like hot tub stream, like people that do that, or like, and obviously like dress how you want, you do your audience whatever you may be. But knowing as a kid, like like if we were kids and that stuff was going on, we probably like we wouldn't know what to do with ourselves. We'd be acting a fool. We have our own streamer, like that's just a fact. Like between me, you, and Q, like there'd be some streamer that like she goes on stream and she has a shirt where like her boobs are half hanging out. And we probably as kids would probably eat that shit up. So it's like it's so difficult now, and even more so, it's probably only gonna get worse to have to protect our kids from that. Because obviously you can be like, oh yeah, you can only watch these people, but you can't helicopter over them.
No, and it's also the idea too where it's like you don't want to helicopter over them, but it just sucks too because there's just so much easy access to a lot of that stuff too. You know what I mean? Like,
slope,
there's
bro.
no like parental guidance, which is what I feel like I would need to do.
Yeah, and you can set up those like passwords or whatever. Like there's ways to restrict it, whatever. But like kids learn and pick up shit fast. Don't know how to maneuver around shit the same way that we did.
Yeah,
there were things that it's like, all right, yeah, we shouldn't be watching this, but we know how to pull up certain things or like block it or do it in private or so. I just like, yes, I never thought about that until you brought it up now. And it's like the idea of it. And it's like, yeah, we like, it's not necessarily like drugs and alcohol like this being thrown in his face, but also the idea of like how to treat people or how to act in public. Like these guys act wild, and you got to make sure they separate the ideas. Like, yeah, you can't be doing like backflips and barking at people and asking girls to hawk tua and do those balloon lineups and shit. Like that shit not real life.
Yeah.
Or like those dates and shit. Like,
yeah.
You gotta you can't,
like
you gotta avoid all that.
It's all entertainment at the end of the day. It's like these people just had the opportunity and now they're just doing what they want to do, you know, to just, entertain. That's all, like, that's how I see it. But at the end of the day, it's like, you don't need to also do it. You know? It's like, you can use this as a way to just watch and have fun, but you don't yourself have to watch this and now say, oh, okay, now I'm going to do it. Like, no, you're your own person. Do what you want to do, you know, and it doesn't have to be that, you know.
Exactly. It's a tough spot, and Lord knows what content's gonna look like by the time that happens for either one of us. So
yeah,
it's crazy. We just we'll control what content we make. We keep it clean. I may cuss every now and then, you know, maybe more than I should, but backrooms are scary. Okay, what do you want me to do? Well, yeah, we're gonna hop up out of here. Mark, where can they find you before we dip out?
You can find me on Instagram, Marky Mark. Where can they find you, Victor?
Find me everywhere at ETC Victor. The et cetera stuff is at Real, et cetera. If you can't find it that way, all of our stuff is always in the description. Appreciate you guys always. We'll see you on Thursday for the gaming video, and we love you. Goodbye.
Also, guys, Victor's birthday just passed.
It did.
It was. I should have said in the last one, but his birthday just passed. So I want everybody to Wish him a happy birthday.
I appreciate it, you guys. I appreciate it, Mark.
He's not no more 25.
I'm 26.
He's 26. We're getting old.
Yeah.
So help us as soon as possible to reach the level we need to.
Yeah.
Because we ain't getting any younger.
But I appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.